My name is Pixie People, and today we're going to talk about what if Deku had a fire quirk part, the final part. Finally, now I can finally work on different projects after this video. All right, let's continue the story. Well, where we left off is when All Might knocked the shiz out of All for One, which was really hard. But luckily they were able to. Oh shit! The sound turns off. It doesn't matter. And then he Deku, after relaxing, after almost killing a man, but he knows that that's probably the only thing he should have done. If he didn't kill him, or did kill him, or if he didn't help, maybe All Might would have died. And he just didn't want to take that chance. Luckily, my guy did not want to know what that happens. Oh. Okay. So, Deku destroys uh, I don't know, my brain just shuts off sometimes and I just think of words that would sound cool. But Deku wakes up after his long ass nap. Gets out of bed and goes to school. And then he learns that they're gonna go to new entrance exams. But it's fine if you choose the same person as last time. Obviously, Endeavor already put his application in for Izuku because he liked working with him. He respected his work and his ability to save a situation from dire situations. So, Deku punching after getting to school and after accepting Endeavor's thing again, they do leave. Todoroki and Deku and Bakugo this time. I just skipped the whole battle training thing. That seems pretty boring. Oh, I know. Yeah. They don't need yeah, since Endeavor learning that there's a bigger problem. I know this guy named Mirio that used to train under All Might because he is a teacher there and saw them training and thought to help whoever he was interning with. So that's how he meets Shionaidai. Seeing the All Might poster, he gets a bit triggered, but ignores it for the sake of the job. Shionaidai agrees to work with them as long as the students can at least touch him. So, they learn to, I don't know why I posted violence on my screen. But, just a minute, please. Deku, relaxing after... Not relaxing. Him gearing up to touch, Tsunadi's face with his, fist. So, Todoroki is also ready to smack him with his icy tender face. And Deku has a heart. For some reason, this guy his eyes start glowing. Deku already knows that that's his quirk, but he doesn't know what the quirk does. So Serenade sees into the future, sees what Deku's about to do. So Deku swings. Serenade dodges. So Deku already knows. Oh, this guy can just see the future, can't he? So then he just flamed up his hand and made it as fast as possible so it'd be really hard to read. So Serenade already knows he cannot dodge this. So, smack. Todoroki had a way easier time because he didn't get his future read. And then just got his rocked by Deku's ice beam. I mean, Todoroki's ice beam. Just hits him with the ice. Smack. Out of the ice. See? And that's how they got into the Serenade internships with Endeavor. So they go to, after a couple of weeks, they learn about this Yakuza thing, and Deku goes on patrol with Mirio. Mirio then, I guess, congratulates Deku for saving All Might from All for One. Deku obviously saying that, well, it wasn't all him, and without All Might, he probably would have died too. Mirio, hit with the, true. But while they're walking and patrolling, they see this girl relaxing. Is he relaxing? There's this. After Deku is walking, Eri. Well, they don't know it's Eri yet, but I do, because I can see the future bit. And yeah. Oh my god, he actually won. Unexpected. So, Deku just cuts his head off. I'm kidding. Deku. Seeing this little girl sitting down to tell her ask where her dad is, but then seeing her eyes and then just realizing, he has to kill a bit, doesn't he? It's not like my guy is just gonna ignore the fact this girl looks like her eyes are about to pull out of her face. Sorry, I keep coughing. But immediately, punch. Like looking up, seeing all overhaul. While overhaul is just sitting there, waiting for this guy to try something while he's holding his glove, ready to take it off. But Deku, already knowing who this is, because of Serenade saying that there's a guy who had a bird mask that looked like a... Man, my throat is hurting. He's talking. He starts talking. They start talking. Yeah, Mirio talks behind Deku and says, they need to wait or our overall is just gonna kill them right here and right now. So Deku reluctantly agrees to let Eri be holded for a day. A single day. Even that was like really hard to agree with Deku. Deku was like a centimeter away from just burning this guy to ash. Not even that, probably to atoms. I was gonna burn this guy straight to atoms. He's gonna turn him straight to atoms. But he took all Miria's word for it and just decided not to, you know, kill a guy. Sadako leaves with Mirio. Well, first he sits down, tells Eri that. Then Eri sits down and tells Deku, knees down, tells Eri to be strong and be brave in a very quiet tone. Then gets up and walks away. Overall, carefully removing his hand, slowly, after he sees they're really gone, grabs Eri, walks off. Which Deku already feels like he's about to just barrel straight for him. Deku just, when he gets back to the office, he just busts down Tsunai's door with a flaming quirk, burning the door to ash, and then just walks up to Tsunade, putting his hands on his desk, and then burning it in the process, but just scorching it because it's made of metal instead of wood. So, he was killed. Deku already telling Tsunade, we're gonna make an attack tomorrow, or I'm gonna burn this entire place to the ground. Tsunade, already planning on doing it tomorrow, said, yeah, okay. That's the plan. Did you just not read it up on it? From my handbook, it's like a 70 dictionary book. That gives him a bit of ash, and then Tsunade already knows what happens. Yes, Deku burned it to ash. I'm already about to lose. Deku is realizing he must protect any area at all costs. At all costs, like if he sees Eri, he's gonna bust through every single wall, kill any man, woman, or old guy in his way. Deku, instead of just waiting for that bird guy to show up, well, the bird guy does show up and tries to hit Deku. The guy turns to bone. As soon as he makes contact with Deku, bone. Clean bone. Not a single trace of meat on this guy. And then he falls to the ground with his unusually big sculpture. And then the bones just break on impact on Deku. So Deku walks into the building. While the bird guy is trying to stop Deku from getting through, he just makes a fire fist, punches through the wall. Any wall this bird guy makes, he just punches straight through it. He just keeps walking and walking until he makes an edge and then goes right. They keep trying to make Deku get away from Eri, but this guy is just forcing his way to Eri. Well, Serenade and Mirio are just sitting there in the front of the building still, because they were not expecting Deku to just kill a man. So Deku, after killing him, well, let's go. Win. Nice. Slice. Okay. So, Deku, after getting to the room where Overhaul and Eri and that guy who has a bullet that can erase quirks gets to him, the guy immediately the guy with the quirk erasing bullet shoots at Deku. Deku just burns it. Y'all really thought I was making Deku get shot with the bullet. Nah, he just burns it. Then just blitzes the guy with the gun, melting the barrel so he can't shoot anymore. And then punching Deku, I mean, the guy with the gun, in the face, knocking him clean out. So Overhaul, pulling up, on your boy Overhaul, I mean Deku. Then Overhaul and Deku stare each other down from afar. Overhaul is definitely ready to face this guy, immediately burning off decaying his gloves off, and ready to kill this guy that just dares to touch his one and only saving grace for Hero Society to be clean of all these diseases. So Deku running towards trying to blitz Overhaul, but Overhaul is a bit faster than his little grunt, so his grunt with the gun. So Deku has to dodge his swings at him, because at least this guy had a power that can actually kill him in one shot. So Deku keeps like running around this Overhaul until he's able to get one punch in with like the force of Overhaul, basically the force of muscular, and it just makes Overhaul go flying towards the guy with the gun. That one punch hurt like hell. So he smacks instead of like being gentle or like saying like this big speech, he just smacked out of his guy with the gun, and then explodes him, makes himself overpowered, and then Deku is a bit concerned. Deku gets shot out with flesh bullets, which is disgusting. So Deku is able to burn them, but like barely. Then he flies towards Eri, grabbing her and trying to fly the hawk out of her. But since Overhaul's quirk is now amplified by the guy with the gun, Deku's a bit concerned he's about to get lit up. So the spears that Overhaul makes are getting way too close to Deku's for comfort. Uh-oh, you cheating son of a... So, Deku trying to escape, but then a stone pillar gets thrown at him and he gets smacked out of the ground. Through the building, onto the city. But Eri was not hurt at all. While Deku's back is now broken, so now he can't move. But Eri is able to touch him, knowing she can help. So Deku's back is healed. But just because Eri felt so connected with this guy, Deku was able to not be healed so far that he wasn't even born. He was just healed until his spine was fixed. But like, actually, it's further in strengthening Deku though, because it healed him so well that it made him back to his peak strength. Like before the attack ever started. So Deku is already able to kick the shit out of this guy. But Deku doesn't know how to keep Eri from dying. So he ties takes a cloth, some protecting tape out of his wrist, and then actually out of his belt, and then ties Eri with it, and then making her a backpack basically. But you're wondering how he's gonna be able to turn full flames. But luckily he was able to learn a new tactic where he could just where his body was able to burn, but not burn any flesh, bone, or anything near him. then he makes wings. It's basically Batman in a sense. And flies toward All for One, not knowing how he's gonna beat him, but he's gonna try. Remember, he's in his big state. So it's a bunch of Deku trying to dodge attacks, burning him slightly, and it stayed burned. He just had to like replace it with other flesh. Deku's getting all types of fricked up from every attack that hits him. One attack breaks his entire spine. Oh my god. But Eri already heals it, so he's back to physical strength. One time, Deku gets his arm cut off. Yeah, you already know Eri healed that. Let's go. Deku keeps freaking up my boy Awful One. Overhaul in the face. He keeps trying to get to Overhaul because he can't get his hand. This guy's a pro player. Oh my god, bro. He's just keeping my guy in this guy. Okay. Back to what I was saying. So, Deku does say that if he can't protect this girl, then what kind of hero is he? So he keeps trying to freaking kill this guy instead of just arresting him or anything. He's trying to kill this guy. No Overhaul being saved or anything. Saved in quotation marks by the League of Villains. The League of Villains know who Deku is, obviously, because the Nomo was killed by this guy. So he's forcing himself to stay awake from, not dying. You know what I mean? From not dying. Eri and Deku are the perfect tag team. Overall already knows if he even tries touching Eri right now, she would die. So he's trying to just hit Deku's spots where he knows Eri isn't. So like the arms, the other arm, the legs, the head. He just knows not to go for body shots. Unless it's a punch. So then Deku just gets dismembered. Like he has his forelimbs are gone. Eri's a bit exhausted, so Deku just has to deal with falling to the ground. Actually, not falling to the ground. His willpower made his wings stay. So he's flying around as a freaking battering ram until Eri gets his strength back, and then Deku gets his arms and legs back. And Deku flies hard. Flies straight toward Overhaul, but then burns his entire body. Okay, so he unstraps Eri as soon as he starts to fly towards Overhaul, because in this corner of his eye when he was flying around, he saw Uravaka and Mirio. So immediately Uravaka, after seeing Deku's slight stare at her, knows what he's doing. Then she tells Mirio to get ready, and then Mirio says, "For what?" Then she touches his back, and then he already has, full cowling from the first thing. He flies up, then starts kicking the air to get to Eri. Then Eri already is grabbed out of the sky, while Deku just becomes just a fireball, a flaming meteorite towards Overhaul. Overhaul tries to stop him, but then his entire fist gets burned straight off. And then Deku keeps flying. Now his body starts to burn. Like he starts getting scorch marks on him. He well yells. I can't really yell into the thing, or it's gonna sound weird. Um, you die here, like that. Then Overhaul gets killed. He burns to a complete and utter crisp. His fists are in his gut, and then just burns to a straight crisp. Overhaul's gut is in a half, and then he burns completely out. And then he stops existing. But luckily his friend was able to escape. You know, the guy with the gun. He escapes, and then landed on the ground in a lot of pain. And he... then Deku pops his ears. Then after Deku is burning, and burning, he slaps his ears to make them bleed. Because if he didn't do that, then he wouldn't be able to hear. Because the burns on his skin started closing his eardrums, so he slapped them so they'd bleed, which would make his blood flow out, which would stop the blood from, leaking, which makes the blood bleed. Then he gets knocked out from all the pain he's endured. Then Deku. Then Eri just goes barreling towards Deku and hits lightly, gently touches his back, and then heals him back to full strength, right back where he started. Except for his burns. The burns stay. Remember, he never ever went into a demon state here. He just kept his base form the entire time. He's so strong now, he doesn't even have to go into his Oni form. I'll give him new ones. Actually, I won't give him a new one. Because it's the final part. So Deku gets up after the beating he just endured, and then lays down. Actually, gets up, hugs Eri, says he shall never let anything hurt her again. And see, Sir Knight is still alive. That's pretty cool. So, yeah. Strangle, 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 strangle. Take a kill. And he leaves. Yeah. So they leave, get on the bus, and then leave. Actually, yeah, I can go into the, My Villain Academia. But this time we have Deku more specifically in there. So Deku, after learning that a whole place was a whole mountain was destroyed, you already know Deku's over there already. Then he hides his presence with just on the top of a rock. He doesn't know this, but that was the rock that just got destroyed. And he looks over the mountain and then sees Shigaraki, Dabi, Toga, and Twice, and this massive giant just chilling. Well, not chilling. The big one is talking to a radio for some reason. So Deku just immediately breaks the ground, flies towards the guy with the fire, and then grabs him by the leg, and then just goes flying off. But when Dabi's about to click his neck, Deku immediately shuts that down and knocks him straight out. He stopped out right there and smacked him on the neck, making Dobby sleep. And then he grabbed him by the neck after smacking the goofy on him. And then flies towards the Endership of Endeavor, which just happened so fast for the League of Villains, they didn't even know what was going on. They had no idea what was about to happen. Except Shigaraki, who slightly saw it. So, his quirk immediately awakens because that's an important member of the group because he's overpowered. So, yeah, so one for all Shigaraki exists now. All for one Shigaraki exists now. So, his hair turns white and then flies towards Deku, who has Dobby. So, you're about to get killed, Deku. But luckily, Deku is able to keep dodging Shigaraki's attacks, because he almost has the same speed. He has more speed than Endeavor. So Deku's about to get killed by this guy. But Deku keeps dodging and dodging, weaving, being careful not to get touched. I think it actually was a bad idea to give the person with a decay quirk one all for one. Because if you get touched by him, then you immediately die. But I know he can deactivate quirks sometimes. But still, it seems like a useless power to pair with. Just saying. So Deku has to keep weaving all with Dobby in hand. But then Dobby wakes up and then tries burning Deku. But Deku already seeing this coming turns into his new form he was been working on. Actually no. In all the form he used against All for one. And then turns into his Gundam state. Then smacking the out of Shigaraki. All for one, actually, because it's all for one. And Dobby gets grabbed out of the sky and then flinged all the way to the state. Breaking through the window. And Endeavor already seeing this. Not seeing it coming, but his reaction time was too fast. So he threw his desk away and then grabbed Dobby. Being careful to kill him. Being not very careful not to kill him. So, look, he lives. Okay. So, Deku, after realizing that Dobby is a far enough distance, looks towards Shigaraki and says, "I'm going to kill you." Well, like in a Gundam sound. Then he grows 4 arms, and then connects those 4 arms to make a fire cannon, and then it just spits fire at overhaul Shigaraki. One for all Shigaraki. Then he burns completely to a crisp. Then he's into his burn state, which is his worst state to actually fight against because he's mad. So then after Shigaraki tries blitzing Deku to get to him, his hand is trying to push through Deku's Gundam, but it's kind of just burning. His body's trying to regenerate it, but it's going a bit too fast for him. So his hand actually detaches and then burns to a crisp. So now Shigaraki doesn't have a freaking hand. And then Deku, after grabbing Shigaraki like a freaking bug, slams him to the ground. And then just starts just gasoling on this man. Shigaraki had a calm on him at the time, so he used it to call Gigantomachia, which he actually is very small compared to Gundam him. Actually, wait, no. He's basically the same size as Mount Lady or Gigantomachia standing up. So Gigantomachia shows up and then just kicks the booty cheeks out of, so it's punching, Deku in his Gundam state. So it's basically just a Kaiju versus, Gundam state. Gundam. Then Deku after realizing there's a bigger threat here, he starts punching the crap out of it, then tearing the little electric thing on him, and then punching him with it. But that's where he got his main addiction to the all for one. So he got real frustrated after that, and started powering up to his max form. So he's even swoller and taller than Deku now. But luckily, Deku has Gundam wings, which is even cooler than normal wings. He starts flying around this bigger guy, starts punching him, starts zooming punching. Deku's about to die, by the way, bro. Bro is exhausted. He's been on fire for about, and 4 hours already. He's been practicing for a long time. He's pretty hot. He's pretty sweaty now. So Deku starts trying to kill him, Gigantomachia, even faster than usual. He's really trying to kill this guy, but he didn't realize Shigaraki was getting up from the rumble after burning a lot, and now he's fully healed with a rage boost. So Shigaraki starts flying towards Deku, ready to grab his face with his remaining hand. Deku being so fast that he's able to react to this, and then just spin and then kick Shigaraki into Gigantomachia's gut, and then Gigantomachia, after getting stabbed with a person, starts walking back, not really phased, but then Shigaraki gets really mad, so he touches a part of his guts to get out, and then Gigantomachia just crumbles. So now the Gigantomachia is out of the picture. All because Shigaraki wanted a W. Because he wanted a W, but it just didn't work out because, he got freaked up real quickly. He got freaked up real quickly. Poop on punch, poop on punch. So now Gigantomachia is out of the picture. So Deku just has to worry about one person, since no one else can stop him. Except when Twice sees that that Shigaraki is getting killed in his eyes, his quirk awakens again. Not awakens, but he feels happy that he doesn't feel happy. He feels enraged that his friend's about to get killed. So his quirk awakens, and then he becomes a Twice Gundam. It's a lot of Twice clones turning into a big Twice. Now it's a Twice Gundam. This is some bullcrap, bro. So now Twice starts running hands. The original Twice is still with Toga. These are all clones. They start running hands, bro. Deku has to keep fighting people. These random people he doesn't even he knows, because Shigaraki is also helping Twice. So this is a really difficult fight for Deku. Until Shigaraki gets a hand finally on the flames. For wondering how he did it, flame manipulation. And now he decayed the Gundam. Not his balls. Yeah. So now Deku is, after decaying, after his Gundam gets decayed, he goes back to his Oni state. His swole buff state, basically. He starts flying. But Deku punches through Shigaraki, then ripping him in half and burning him to a crisp again. Then he burns to his balls. Bro, why did you punch him in the balls 3 times, bro? That's just not nice. Dead. Deku flying into the the Twice Gundam, and then blowing it up, which just makes it melt into this goopy substance, which is disgusting, by the way. After Deku bursts out of it and makes all of it into clay, then flies towards twice instead of Shigaraki, who is recuperating, and then just knocks twice straight out. Well, Toga tries to cut him, which Deku is unfazed by because the knives just melt and he just slaps her, which hits her into a tree, and then she gets knocked out. And the Compressed tries to hit Deku, but then his hand burns, so he kind of like walks back, and then actually he tried touching him with his metal hand because that probably would work better, but then that hand melts, and then he gets slapped. Then he gets hit with one of the tendrils on Deku's hairs, and he gets smacked. Then he gets smacked, and then he goes to sleep. Night night. And then he flies. And he fly. Deku flies back to Shigaraki, who Shigaraki is already on top of Deku, now being able to actually put his hand on him. Deku already knows everything Shigaraki's about to do before he even knows it. So, Shigaraki's hand gets cut clean off. But instead of it just turning to ash, Shigaraki flies away, grabs that hand, and then sticks it right back on. Old Ethan style from Resident Evil. And they keep. Well, Deku was using actually 4 hands, while Shigaraki's only using 1. So he's blocking and parrying Deku with 1 hand. Well, and he uses his tendrils to stop him from killing him. So Deku is playing with fire, with death here. But luckily, the pro heroes were ready to help Deku. After Dobby's secure, Endeavor's already there. With Mirio as well, powering up to 45%. But Sir Knight also goes to see the future. But then Shigaraki sees Sir Night stare at him. And then Deku just bolts straight through Endeavor and Mirio. And then kills... And then just punches a hole straight through Sir Night And then blowing up the chopper. This is basically just an excuse for a primal Mirio. So now Deku has to deal with this bloodthirsty Mirio. So now there's 2 flame users and a person that can take a punch. So now Shigaraki's being pressured by all sides. Not all sides, like he has it opening one way. But he can't take it because Deku is already there when he tries taking it. So he gets punched right back to where we got squished. But now he's stuck. He keeps getting stuck back into his squishing spot. Shigaraki's trying to push them off. It's getting way harder now that Mirio unlocked Black Whip. Has already unlocked Black Whip and now is even stronger than that. Then he's unlocked Float. He's just been unlocked. Now he's unlocked all quirks. All the quirks that were activated. Now he boosts his power all the way to 100% of full cowling. Now he has to deal with that. And then also a person he can't even punch because when he tries to, his hand just phases straight through him. Then he keeps trying to punch Mirio. Now he's focused on Mirio alone. Because he can deal with being on fire now. But that's really not going to help when he's still on fire. And it's kind of hard for him to, punch something when he doesn't have that limb. But, like, in the end, Deku's about to, he already knows he's about to die. Bro's body is burning. Like, he's starting to turn to, like, some of his, fingertips are starting to burn off. So Deku already knows what he has to do. Then he powers up to his full power. His Oni state disappearing. All the fire just making a tornado out of him. Then then Deku flies towards him like a spear. While Endeavor also knows what he. Miri also flying towards Shigaraki behind him. Then he forces Shigaraki into the spear. And then Shigaraki is being burned so badly. He starts turning to ash, but Deku knows that is not enough. So he starts pushing his body even further than that. So my boy is even scarier when Shigaraki's starting to. All for one starts like thinking he has to touch this guy, but when he tries to do that, his hand is already gone. Only his eyeball is left, and his brain barely. All for one is starting to think if he just all this guy needs to do is stop Deku from burning him to a crisp. So he starts using his very useless ability of shooting lasers, but not like important lasers. They're just lasers to boost you upwards. But Deku grabs that eyeball and then disintegrates it to atoms again. He just keeps turning everything to atoms. So now the tornado was just sweeping up the ashes, but then he keeps burning the ashes. So basically, um, All For One's about to die, but All For One really does not want to die. So he keeps trying to escape, but Deku is just not letting that happen, making the flames even more furious. Now, now Deku is already on fire. He's on fire. Now Deku starts burning and burning. Then his teeth start showing. Then he starts getting even more on fire. Then his nose, like the nose part, which is actually not a nose, it starts burning straight off. My man forces himself to stay awake, even though he's losing. No blood because the blood is burning to ash. Not even ash, just boiling to gas immediately when it leaves his body. But like he keeps trying, he just keeps snapping away like awake, and then until All For One is confirmed dead. Like Deku knows he's dead because he can like actually force himself to look through the flames. And then at the end, Deku starts flying to the ground. But Mirio won't let him die from his sacrifice, so he starts flying to UA, and then busts through the hospital there, slams Deku onto one of the gurneys, then starts shooting himself towards Ares' room, and Ares there, not even knowing what's about to happen, but she knew she has to save Deku, so she just uses her entire quirk on him, which heals him. Yeah. I'm gonna make Deku live, being burned to almost unrecognizable. He keep twitching hard, like very hard, like incredibly hard. Then when his vocal cords finally come back, then people can hear him screaming in pain. Being on fire is kind of basically being on fire at the same time. So he's twitching hard and screaming a lot. But Deku's able to shave. Uh, Deku's able to shave off. Um, right when right when Deku started the fight, like in his Gundam state. So he's still very in pain, but like not dead. That's a W. So Shigaraki uh, dies. All For One dies. Everyone's captured, and Deku still lives. And I hope you all like the story because I really like this story. This took 6 parts, and you can watch all of them on a playlist. Hope you like the video. Like and subscribe. Hit the post notification bell. And goodbye.